Now let's take a look at how we can control, or excuse me, create the second kind of wall surface where we have two non-parallel surfaces and the curtain wall, or the glass storefront curtain wall in between. So once again, I'm going to go back to level 1. Sometimes when my clicker doesn't work like that, it means that I'm on the wrong sheet. So let's figure out what wall system that was. That was a generic 8-inch wall. So I'm going to go to Wall, Architectural, and we'll pick up that generic 8-inch. And we'll look at that from the 3D view. I'm going to pull this one down. And right away, I'll copy one up if I can. Let's see how that works. Take off the multiple check mark and try to select this and go straight up. That moved in 3D because you can see how this one is already behind the other one. So I'm going to go back to level 1 and I'm going to grab this and I'm going to move it back. I'm going to grab it on the corner here and I'll pull it back over to here. And it says it's overlapping, and we'll just kind of sort that out in the front elevation. So I'll go to the south elevation and we have two walls there. So what I'll do is I'm going to grab the front wall. I'm just lining this up to what I've already drawn, but you're going to have new elements here. So once again, I'll go back to the 3D view and I'll show you what we've drawn. So now we have two walls with a space between them. And I'm going to go ahead and click into them, edit the profile, and once again do something similar to what is shown over there. Whoops, you notice how it's showing a little orange block? It means that something's not quite lined up there properly. So I'm going to go to continue and I'll zoom in here. I'll grab this and I'll pull it until I get an indication that they're touching. And now we'll do the same similar thing up here. Double click into it. We'll pull this up. Click out of it. Now we want a piece of storefront glazing between that, and that might be a challenge to us. I'll go to level 1 and I'll actually draw that storefront glazing in that same area again. So I'm going to go to Wall. I'm going to select a storefront glazing, scrolling down here. That didn't give me any kind of error, so I was perfectly happy placing it in there. So let's see what it looks like with where it is. All right, so it's actually taken away that bottom section of wall, and that wall is actually still there. If I pull this up, you'll notice that wall is still there. If I pull this down, you'll notice the other one is still there. So what we really want to do now is get this edited so it matches the shape. So I'm going to double click into this. I'm going to grab this and pull it up. And I'm not getting an indication of it touching. Let's see if I can get in here and touch that surface. I don't like the way that's doing that, so I'm going to do it from the south elevation because it's more straight on. Now I can grab this. A little hard to see here because we're seeing the other one in the background, but I'll pull that up to the top. I'll pull this line up until it meets it. Come over here and grab this one and pull it up. Now I'm just lining up that storefront grid to the existing walls. That one didn't move that time. Got to remove the constraint. Okay, now I'll go to the 3D view so you can see what I've drawn. You'll notice how they don't look like they're lining up here, and that's because we're making reference to the center point of the wall on the top and bottom. And so when I click Done now, it'll insert that wall system as we've drawn it. So that was a much more complicated, I guess, way of just seeing how we were going to change the geometry in there. So I would expect that to be a bit more of a challenge for you to draw.